This is an exterior walk around of my 1997 40th anniversary edition FZJ80 Land Cruiser. I'm going to try and show you everything that's good and everything that's worn, just so you have a really accurate idea of the vehicle. You can see, starting with the hood, we've got some clear coat failure that happened with the previous owner, who was the second owner. I'm the third. We've got stock size BFG KO2s, which are, they probably have 15,000 miles on them. Front, we've got some wear over time. I know these were some special onyx covered emblems. You'll see those on the back as well, and you can see that those have bubbled. I was going to fix these up at some point, haven't yet, but you can see that same wear is present throughout the grille. Headlights are in great shape. The wind deflector is also in good shape, except for this little chip we've got right there. This headlight, also in good shape, but you can see that there was some kind of impact there at some time in the truck's life. And then you can see on the fender flares here, if I can get it to focus, these have dried out and worn over time. You can see there's a little bit of discoloration to them as well. Got the 40th anniversary badging on everywhere it's supposed to be. Now I'll note this in the other part of the listing, but you can see in some lights, this driver's door actually came off of another 40th anniversary. So while it actually was this antique sage color in some lights, because it did come off of a different truck earlier in its life, there are some lights where it's visible and some lights where it's not. So I tried to capture that as best I could in some images, as well as this video. Coming around to the driver's side door, you can see we've got on these pieces of trim on the exterior, these have cracked and dried over time. I haven't removed these. Previous owner removed these on the other side of the vehicle. So you can see there definitely some tatters here. We'll walk around to the other side real quick so you can see what those look like. So you can see he actually removed them here. So it's just the metal, and it looks like it was actually torn. Right here, he may have basically cut them because they were starting to do the same thing as the other side. So returning to that driver's side of the vehicle, got an impact here sometime in its life prior to my ownership. So you can see got a little bit of a dent there, and actually you can see that I believe the previous owner tried to touch it up a little bit. I haven't done anything with that. Housing for the light looks good. Badging on the back also looks good. Worn, of course, but all present. Got a little crack in this guy. Again, this like onyx covered badging that it shows on the original receipt is starting to fade. Key slot works perfectly fine. A couple other things to note, like on a lot of these trucks, really the only signs of wear on the truck are on the rear hatch, so you can see only signs of rust, I should say. You can see it's starting to creep right there underneath the rear windshield, starting to bubble just a little bit. I haven't done anything with that since I've owned the vehicle. Got another small piece there and there, and then another here. So vehicle's not obviously in perfect shape. It's been driven for its almost 260,000 miles, but it really is in remarkable shape, especially the interior, which I'll be showing in another video. Couple other things to note that I've done to the truck. I removed the hitch here, and as with many of these trucks, it was starting to rust. You know, the frame on this, which I'll show in another video, is in remarkable condition. It's great. This has been a Colorado truck its whole life, so the frame is beautiful, which I'll show. But these hitches rusted, and this one was no exception. So this one had some rust on it, and I'm going to be posting some pictures of the process. But we actually media blasted this thing and powder coated it, so it is in really great shape now, really beautiful. So we pulled it off, did all of that. We also at the same time pulled off, blasted, and powder coated the wiper arms here, and that extends to the front of the truck as well. So those guys were starting to see some paint failure and some flecking, so we pulled those guys off. Same thing, blasted those. And now they've got that nice new look to them. So continuing on the rear of the vehicle, on the passenger side, you can see same thing. Light housing's in great shape there. You can see that we've got another small impact here with some paint chipping as well as a little bit of rust. All of that done by the previous owner. I haven't done anything to address it. So got that there. Again, with this molding on the fender flares, it's older, a little dried. But yeah, just beautiful paint still on the side, doors. Like I said, it's got that antique sage color, which is a really cool gray green. Again, 40th anniversary edition badging right there. And then yeah, just to show you all the doors and windows work. I won't operate all of those in this video. Truck's at 260,000 miles, so the windows all still function, but they're a little bit slower. So I try to put some silicone spray in those once a quarter, just to make sure that they're at least lubricated and can go up and down. But I really rarely use them. I try not to roll them down just because that expedites when I need to replace all the motors. But all of them do function, including the rear windows. I haven't opened those since the day I bought it about a year ago. There was a little bit of dirt and stuff in there from previous owner. Didn't look like he cleaned them too often, but they both function. And then just so you can see, I think all the doors open and shut perfectly fine. You can see, you know, vehicle's never been in an accident to my knowledge. I'll get a Carfax and post that along with it. And yeah, I think I'll show the rear hatch opening when I do the interior.